This video is for anyone who wants to use the Symbio Service and Installation app to work with schedules on their Symbio 800 or Symbio 700 controller. The full list of equipment supported by Symbio 700 and Symbio 800 is in the information below the video. The app I'm using is the Symbio Service and Installation app, which is available free in the App Store and in the Google Play Store. And it will connect to a Symbio 700 or a factory application Symbio 800 controller. When you first connect, you see this home page that is visible in the video. And this is where we'll start to get to the schedules page. If you want more information about how to get connected to the controller in the first place, see the other videos in this channel and playlist for a Getting Connected video. The primary navigation in the app is along the bar on the bottom. You can see that there's a blue home icon because we're on the home page. We're going to go to the tools page, which is the icon on the far right. Second item in the list of tools is the schedules. As this page opens, you'll see that this controller does not have any schedules in it. We're going to start by creating a new schedule. So there's a Create button in the upper right portion of the screen. Tapping that brings up a page to start creating the schedule. So the first thing we're going to need is a schedule name, and we're going to call this Occupancy. For the schedule type, we're going to be going after the occupancy request, which is a multi-state point. The effective dates, we're going to go from today's date through a no end date. If we were connected to a Symbio 700, we'd be forced to do a temporary schedule that was 3 months or less. Symbio 800, the schedules can be longer term. Tapping the next button brings me to select the members. So this is selecting the point that is going to be controlled by this schedule. So I'm going to tap Pick Items. And then I'm going to pick my occupancy request since that's what we're scheduling. Next, I'm going to be able to do the schedule default and the schedule times. The schedule default is the value that the schedule will have at midnight, unless you create an event at midnight. So it's sort of the default value of the schedule. In this case, we're going to go with unoccupied because that's what I want the schedule to be at midnight. Now I'll have the option to add events to the schedule. I'm going to do kind of a traditional 8 to 5 schedule, so I'm going to tap Add Event. I am going to add as a permanent change. I'm going to add an 8 o'clock a.m. event that has got an occupied value Monday through Friday, and I'm going to tap Save. So now you can see we have an 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. I'll tap the Add Event again, and now I'm going to go in and change this to 5 o'clock p.m. and change the value of the event to unoccupied, leave Monday through Friday set, and hit the Save. So now you can see we have an 8 to 5 schedule Monday through Friday. Tap Finish. And I've now created a normal schedule in my controller. Now I'm going to show you how to edit the normal schedule. There are 2 ways to do this. The first way is actually this active schedule screen the schedules list screen that I'm looking at has, it's showing the one schedule I've got, and it's showing it in the context of today. I do have an option from here to make a permanent schedule change, a normal schedule change, by tapping any of the bars for the day. So I'm going to tap the 8 o'clock a.m. From here, I have the option to change this time. So let's make this 7 o'clock a.m. And I can make this a permanent change or not. Tapping the check mark to make it a permanent change. We'll save that as a normal schedule change. And now every Thursday, we will go occupied at 7 a.m. If I have more days that I want to change, I can also tap other parts of that card that shows the normal schedule, or it shows the occupancy schedule. And from here, I can see my 7-day schedule, Sunday through Saturday. Monday through Wednesday are gray because I just created the schedule today. So let's advance a week to make this more clear. Now you can see I'm unoccupied at 12 a.m. on Sunday. I've got and have no events. I can see my schedule Monday through Friday and my Saturday unoccupied all day. From here, if I want to make a change to the schedule, I could also tap that Thursday that we just changed. If I wanted to change that back to 8 a.m. from here, make it a permanent change, save. And again, I've now made a permanent change from this screen. So having it in two places lets you do a really quick change from that front page, but also lets you come in here and see a bit more of what's happening for the entire weekly schedule before you make the change. But that is how you make a normal schedule change. Now I'm going to show you how to make a one-time change. So I'm going to back out of this, back to the list. So once again, we have that bar for today showing the events. If I tap, say, the 5 o'clock p.m., say I wanted to go a little early, I'm going to say we're going to actually go unoccupied at 4 o'clock p.m., and I choose to leave the make it a permanent change unchecked. Tap the save. This is going to make a change for this week and this week only. So for today, we're going to go unoccupied at 4 o'clock p.m. And next week, we would go back to our regular schedule. Just like I could see more context by tapping on the chart or on the card before, I can tap on the card now and I can see my weekly schedule. I'm going to advance to next week so that you can see something more representative. So here I've got my full schedule for the week. If I say next Monday wanted to make a change, I could tap the bar. I could change this time, say, to 10 o'clock a.m. because I've got a late start. Again, I leave the make this a permanent change unchecked and tap save. Now I've saved the change. You can see that we're going to be unoccupied until 10 a.m. You can see the red border around the bar, which lets me know that this is a temporary change. And if I advance to next week, you can see my Monday is back to having an 8 a.m. occupied. So I've made a temporary change for 1 week only to my schedule. The other thing I wanted to show while we're in here is the schedule details. If you remember, we picked a point and we named the schedule. All of that information is available with the details link in the upper right. One final thing to note, there's a checkbox, or there is a plus icon up in the upper right corner. If I tap that, I can also add an event from here. So let's say Sunday, we had already set that up to be unoccupied all day. Say we did have someone coming in on Sunday, we could do 8 a.m. occupied, save it. And now you see we've added an occupied period to Sunday. So these are all the controls that are available within the schedule. And it allows you to create a new schedule. It allows you to make changes to your normal schedule that will recur from week to week, and also lets you do one-time changes as needed when you have an exception on a specific week.